last 2 weeks, we started a journey of CRUD. You understand? We were unable to finish it up anyway. So I would like us to finish it up today. And after that, we'll talk about middleware. So those are the two things we'll be looking into today. We'll be looking into, I believe, three of us here, we are also on that call last 2 weeks, where we did, what was it called? Where I introduced you to form handling, also request, and I also showed some little where we talked about that be bookkeeping, if I'm still correct. So we'll finish that exercise of today. We'll try to edit a form that we submitted, because I remember that last week we submitted a form and we were able to see the record. I hope you can still remember those things. So we would like to modify that record. You know, sometimes when you fill a form on web or on any website and you submitted it and you discover that you've made a mistake, you can decide to go back and say, no, I made a mistake in my spelling, maybe in the spelling of my name or anything, and you decide to update it. So I'll be showing us how we can do that with Laravel. You understand? Also, I'll be showing us what's it called, how we can delete a record. So, and after that, I would like to entertain questions. Then after that, we'll move to midway. You understand? So that day I created a GitHub repo, and I think I shared the link with us on what's it called. I shared the link with us on what's it called, on the WhatsApp group, and I don't know if any one of us have gone to pull the repo to even see the source code. I don't know. If you've done that, if you've gone through the repo to pull the source code, signify, let me know. Anyone? Alaide? Tosin? Habib? None. Wow, wonderful. So it means that we've not been able to check through the code to see if we understand or maybe also replicate it. Wow, that's not too good. Please, each time we come here so that we can teach, and definitely because the time is short for us, 2 hours, we might not be able to ask questions very well. I understand, but during the course of the week, it's good that we go through all those resources or materials that we've shared. Many times I've dropped a link of the articles on Dev2 for us to read through and comment. None of us in the group comments on it, or maybe I don't think that we even bother going through those articles, and they are not too good for us to be doing, because those articles takes time to write up, and they are there for us to guide us, because we've discovered that the 2 weeks definitely won't be enough, but at least we are trying to make up to compensate and also add more to our knowledge base. So please, all those articles that we've shared on the group, let's check them up. Let's comment on them. Also, the links, the videos that we are sharing every week, please let's check up on them on YouTube. I believe that if we check up on them and we listen to them and try to replicate what we've done for weeks, I believe that the tendency of us asking questions will be definitely very high, because there are a lot of things that you will not understand at the moment until you start doing. And programming is not something that you just come and you watch the video and you feel like you understand. No, you don't. Once you start practicing or doing something, you will think you know, but you don't know. So please, let's start getting our ends dirty. Yeah. So I believe we can still see my screen. So I've started the server. If you can't see my screen, please call me back. Come here. So let's check the route to even know where we're going first. The route is where there's contact. We're working on contact. So slash contact. I think it's contact singular. Okay. So we've been able to add all these records here. Let me add another record so that we can refresh our memory. So let's click on create contacts. Did I commit these out? I'm coming. Let's check over here. So my contacts. Wow, wonderful. Okay, we've not even created the contacts. Okay, so I'm coming. So let me see this first. This create contact is on contact page. So let's look for this function, this text, and add a functionality to it. It will. So that's what we want to first do. So that should be contact index page. So this page is what we want to look for. And to get this definitely based on what we have here, this will be a we should look for contact folder. And inside contact folder, we see index folder. So because it's view, so we'll go to the views folder. So let's check that out. Uh, resources view. There's a contact folder here, and there's an index there. So all the text create contacts. So to create contacts, I want to link it to a route. So the route will be contact dot let me see the route name PHP artisan route list. So let's see. I want it to redirect to the page where they will create where they will show the contact form. So that's what I want. So this is the route. This is the route name contact dot create. So that's where I want it to redirect to. So contact dot create. Okay. So now the next thing I need to do, I'll go to this route. This route is here inside the route folder. We already have it. And we did it as it's a resource route. So, and I think I explained this to us the other time. So instead of manually defining the get endpoint, the post endpoint, I just use the resource route straight up. So the function, looking at this, you can see from here, the function for that will be inside the create. I'm expected to write the function inside the create function here. So now let me look for the function create. So this is the function create by default. So what do I want to do? It's simple. What I want to do is that once you click on that create contact, I just want to show you that form. That's what I want to do. And to do that, I'll just say return redirect. I don't even need to redirect. I'll just say return view. I want to show that view form. So what am I showing? This is what I'm showing. That's all. So it means that what I've done, let me explain again before we run it. What I've done is that once anybody clicks on this create contact link, it will definitely go to this page. And this page, this contact does create is a route. And inside the route, it leads me to this my contact controller at create function. So going to the create function, I said, okay, it should show me what the view inside this contact dot create. So this is what I'm saying. Look at this contact. There's no create, but there's no create dot PHP here now. So let me create that form. Because if I do not create that form, it will throw error that it can't find the form. So so create dot page dot php. So in order not to waste time, I already have them somewhere. Let me just copy it out from it. So this is the form. Let's run it to see what we have. So let me click on this now. I'm coming. There's an error. Okay. Just hold on. I'll play the error now. So it's complaining about these routes. So let me first clean this. Let me comment out this first. You are not yet here yet. So let's see. Now this is the form. Let me explain the thought process here. Clicking on this create contact, I attached a link. Let me show you this thing so you can see what is happening behind the scene. Look at this. So this is the link that I attached to that button, create contacts. Can you see? So once it hits on this route, contact slash create, what I'm doing behind the scene is that I said, okay, once anything hits on this route, contact dot create, as long as it's a get request, then it should go inside this function, my controller my controller at create function. So now going to my book controller at create function, what I'm doing here is that the logic I'm performing here is that first, it should only show, once it gets here, it should show me whatsoever that is inside the view of this file. And what's the name of this file? It's create file, but that create file is inside contact folder. And everything, and this contact folder is inside view folder. There's a folder called views. So this is views. This is the default place, unless if you want to change it. But by default, default in Laravel, your HTML files are supposed to be in your views folder. So that's why, and once they're in your views folder, to access them, use this view directive. So that's just what I'm doing. Now, coming to this contact.create, let's open it. So it loads everything here. That's what you are seeing on, that's what you are seeing here. Can you see? So now, come in. Where is it again? So we have this is an HTML page that contains name, email, message. Is there another thing? And the submit button. You understand? So everything in this HTML is inside a form. There's a form tag. So please, this is a Laravel class. I will encourage us that we also try to understand some basic HTML syntax. They are needed. So everything here are embedded inside a form. And one of the attributes of form is that a form will have action as an attribute, and it will have method also as an attribute. So what I'm saying here is that all these three things, the name, the email, and the message, once you put in values inside of those text box and you click on this your create contact button, the next line of action is that what? It will be submitted to the action, to the route that you pass inside this action. That's just the logic. So now, what's the route inside this action? Let me go back. So this is the route action. The route is what? Contact.store. That's the name of the route. And by default, because we are using a source route, we already have that contact.store. This is it. And the method is post. That is why we are passing post here. The method is post. So for this contact.store route, I'm saying that the function will be inside my contact controller at store function. I can decide to change this, but I don't want to change it. So now let me look for store function. So this is the store function. So any logic I want to perform for that form will be handled here. Any logic I want to perform for that form will be handled inside this function. Hope we understand that. So come in. So I want to create a request. Let me call it PHP artisan make request. This is a command. This is a Laravel command. Make request. So I'll give my request a name. Let me call it my contact group request. So let me explain this command to us. Laravel as a PHP framework has different commands. If you remember, we have command for making models, for making migration, for making controllers, for listing routes. This is the command for listing routes. PHP artisan route list. So, and also let me tell you something. The first two statements here are the same for all commands in Laravel. It will start with PHP artisan. You understand? PHP artisan. and I want to create something. So I'm using make. Then full column. What am I making? I'm making a request class. So that's why it's request. And the name of the request, my contact book request. So let me just do it that way. So now you can see it has created the request for me, and it created it inside this location, app HTTP. So this is app HTTP request folder. This is the file, my contact book request. So you open it. So let me open this file. So let me tell you the usefulness of this request class so that you understand why we are making use of it. Some people don't use request, don't create a request class. They just write it inside the controller, just like I think I've shown us that one before. Where that should be here. During that upper week, I created the request class here before, but I was still sure again anyway. So now my contact book request. So by default, you have two functions here. The first one is the authorized, and the second one is the rules request. So for the authorized, it's expected to return a boolean. That's the meaning of this. This function is expected to return a boolean. That's why you are seeing bool here. And you can see by default, they are saying they are returning false. But we are not returning false, we are returning true. Because if we return false, it will not be able to authorize that request. So we set it to true. Then what are the rules? I will explain it to us. Just hold on. Go back to your create function. Under your create function, I mean to your HTML for your create to create. So inside your HTML tag, you have name, you have what's called an input text. This input text, you have an input text for name, and the name what you are passing to the request class will be the name attribute of your input request. It will be the name attribute, and the name attribute here is what is name. So now I'll come here, I will write name. So I'll write it as an array. So I will tell it that I want this name to be required. What's required means is that if you fill that form and you did not put value inside that input text for name, it will return an error message. You understand? So another thing I want there is that I want what you will be passing in there to be a string, and also the maximum length. I don't need maximum. Let me just say the minimum length. The minimum length of your string to be, let's say, 3. Let me say 3. So after name, what else again? Let me go back to the create. Then this is another input tag, and the name attribute here is what? Email. So I'll come here, I will say email. I'll open bracket for an array also. So I will say is required, and the type should be an email. There's a type called email here. If some of us definitely, I know that because it's still new to us, we might think I'm performing magic. Let me show us where we can get what I'm doing from the documentation, so that at our leisure time we can check through Laravel documentation to see, because there are thousands of attributes. So Laravel request validation validation. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so this is the page of what I'm teaching us on Laravel documentation, so that when we have time, we can go and check that page and read more on it. So let me go back to what I'm doing anyway. So after email, what else do we have? The next one is this text area, and the name here is what? It's message. So let me put it here. Message. Message is required, and I want it to be string. Let's just make it simple for now. So let's just make it simple for now. So now the next thing I will do is I'll remove this request class, because this request is a class on its own. And let me show you the class. So this is the class. It's found under this location. So but I'm no longer making use of it because I already have my own custom request. Custom request because I'm the one that wrote it myself. So I will inject it here. So I'll say my contact book request. Can you see it's automatically suggesting it for me? So this is my own custom request class that I just finished writing. So before we go further, let me first show us what we've done so far in terms of the request, so that we'll see what we have for now. So let me reload this page. Contacts desktop. That's not defined contacts desktop. Oh, sorry. The name of the route is not contacts, it's contacts. Plural. Contacts desktop. So you must be very careful. So my name is Shegun. This is Shegun at test.ng. Testing out. So let's see. So you can see. Can you see? Can you see this? So let me explain what happened here. So request validated is what it's doing is that what is showing is that it's showing the requests that have been validated. Assuming I don't want to show the requests that have been validated, let's do request all. Let's see the difference. So you can see that for request all, it has added an extra field there called token, and I think I explained that one also to us the other time. So that token is coming from this. You understand? It's coming from this, but I don't need to keep it. So let me just do request validated. So, but also before I move on, let me check. Coming my contact cards. So we have name, email, address, message. So address is still missing in the request. Let me add address to the request. Just hold on. Let me just duplicate this. So let me call it address. Address. Okay. Address. Address. Okay, so let me also go to the request and add address because I need it. So let me just use this. So now on the store function, what I want to do is that I want to save that record. So there are different ways to do it, like I've showed us. But the simplest one is just to do this. Validated. I will explain. Just hold on. So what I'm doing here is that definitely you already know the content of request validated, right? So what I'm not saying is that this contact is my model. That's where I want to save it to. So my model name, double full column. There's a function in Laravel called create. What create is doing is that what it is saving those. It will be saving these records into the columns on this contact table. Because by default, because looking at this, it already knows that there's a table called, there's a model called contact because I'm saying, because this is the model name. And by default, if I have a model called contact, it means that I have a table called contacts, plural. Let me tell you. So the table name by default, unless you change it, because I can change it also, that's what I'm saying by default. If I have a model called contacts, the table name will be what? It's expected by default to be contacts. But let's say I don't want to use that table name called table name contacts. I can come here and now say public table is equals I can to maybe let me say I can just give it another name. Let me just say my log book possible. So instead of Laravel to be looking for the table name called contacts, because I've already done this, So Laravel will automatically use this table. We automatically look for this table on my database. So that's that. So let me go back to my controller. So, and after I've done this, what do I want to do? I want to go back to my index page. So I'll just say return redirect routes contact index with what is it called? I think which is an array. I'm coming. Let me confirm. With what is it called? With success. Success. Yeah. Let me just do it this way, like this one. Let me explain this. The first line you already know is to save those records into the contacts table. While the second line, after saving the record into the database, what do I want to do? The second line is what is returning the page from I'm coming. So it's returning the once you click on this create contacts, what is doing behind the scene is that all these records is saving them into the contacts table, and it will now redirect the page from contact slash create to what to slash contact alone. Hope you understand. So that's just what I want to do. Let's see if our logic is correct. Let's try to run it and let's test it. Let me first reload here. So schedule new test address. So the email is Segun at test.ng. This is my message. Let's see. So you can see that after clicking that button create, the next thing is that what it redirects me to this contact page because of this line of code. This is the line of code redirecting me to the contact page. You understand? So, and after it redirected me to the contact page, the record I just put in on that form are now showing here. So it means that it has saved this record on my database. So let's look for that record on my database to confirm what we just did. You can see this is the record. So my name, which is Segun New, the email I put in, the address, the message, and the timestamp. You understand? So it has saved those records on my DB. So this line 33, what it's doing is that what? It's saving the record on the database, while line 34 is what? It's redirecting me back to my what? To my index page where it is listing. This is the function for the index page, if we can still remember. So what this one is doing is that what? It is querying everything on contact table. Everything on contact table, it is querying them, all the columns on contact table, it is bringing them. For you to confirm what I just said, let's just use DD to let's see what is inside this all contacts variable. Let me reload the page. So the item is an array of 6. So you can see, look at this first one. Was so each of the so I'm coming. Let me do this. Contacts because it's an array. So let's get the first element out of the array. So don't let me do it here. Let me show us the index page. The index page. Let's just let me just do contacts. All right, I can correct the spelling. Okay, so let me write small PHP. I'm coming. I'm coming. So if T equals to 0, it's just don't contact the unsigned variable contact. Okay. Let me write out the let me use this PHP tag again. Let me just click on I'm coming. Let's run this. Let's see what we have. Okay. Now look at it. It's more clearer here. So look at the first element. Is returning column ID, column name, column email, column address, column message, column created at, column updated at, column deleted at. And of a truth, if you look at what the table that we have here, we only need column ID, column name, column email, message, and address. We don't need created at, updated at, and deleted at because we are not putting them on the table. You understand? And if we are not very careful, if we keep pulling this type of record, like if we keep pulling all the columns or on our DB on each attempt of this page, as our database grows, let's look for right now, we only have how many records? 6 records. So you might not notice the effects on your database. But imagine if you have like minimum of maybe 100,000 rows on this table and you are pulling all of the columns at once, it will definitely be slow. Your query will definitely be slow with time. So instead of pulling all these columns out, only pull out the necessary columns from your database. So how do we do that? It's very simple. Let's go back to our controller. So here, what I will just do, I won't do this, I won't use this all. I will just say select. There is a select function. So I'll pass in the columns that I want to select. I want to select column ID. I want to select column name. Which other column do I need? Column ID, name, email, address, and message. Those are the columns that I need. Email, address, message. So those are the columns. I don't want to bring in the created that and the updated that column. So I will now use this function get. Instead of all, I will use get. So let's see the difference. Let's see the difference. You can now see that it's now. You can see that I'm now only fetching the needed column. I'm no longer fetching columns that I really do not need to display to the users. Assuming I want to display the created art, then I will also add it. You understand? So the reason why I'm saying this is because we might not see the effects now. You understand? Because our record is too small. You understand? We only have 6 records, but it will get to a point when your record will be so big. You can have a column of, I mean, you can have a row, you can have a table having a row of million, at least a million, or even 100,000, or even 50,000. So instead of just using all to pull everything down, if you are not making use of every column, if it's only 2 columns that you want to display to your users, just fetch the needed columns. You understand? And that's it. Another thing that I would like to add here as an adjustment is this ID. You understand? Look at it this way. Let's look at it this way. Key plus 1. This way. This is key. I named this variable key and I named this one contact. Let me explain the meaning. I use for each loop. And this all contacts, we know where we are, where it's coming from, right? This all contact is coming from here. And I already know that this all contact is an array. That's why I'm using get. Assuming I'm picking a single value, I won't use get. We'll still get there anyway. So this all contact is an array. So I'm looping the array and I'm giving the name of each of the elements in the array as contact. You understand? Then this key, what this key means is that, let me show you. Now, this is contact. This first element here that you can see that I highlighted is contact. This one also is contact. This one also is contact. This also is contact. This also is contact. Why this also is also what contact. You understand? So the combination of all of them together is the all contact variable. You understand me? So now for the key, this first element here by default will be 0 because Laravel array index starts, no, PHP array index starts from 0. So this first one that I highlighted here will be index 0. So the key will be 0. This one will be 1, like that. This one will be 2, like that. You understand? So now let me go back to my code. So instead of saying contact ID, saying if I really do not want to, if there's really no use case for me to interact with that ID on my database, instead of wasting resources, I can just say key plus one. This is a PHP computation, not database. You understand? And then I will now go back on my, I'll go back here and remove the ID, which means I really do not need the ID column. You understand? So let's see how this one will look like. You can see, uh, you can see that it still works. The ID is still showing. You understand? One. So because the first index in Laravel array is 0, that's why I did this manipulation of what's called index plus one. I mean key plus one. Let me remove that key plus one. Let me just do two so that we can see what I'm saying. You can see it starts from 0. You understand? That's what's called that's PHP array indexing. Their first index starts from what? Their first index starts from 0. So I'm coming. Let me go back. So let me do plus one. So let's run it again. So you can see. So let me comment this one so that we won't be so that we won't have that issue. So that I won't be confused. Sorry. So now we are back. So this is better optimized. Now let's go back. Let's go back. Okay. I need the ID anyway. So let me return the ID instead of using the key. Contact ID. Let me go back and add the ID because I need it. Okay. So let's check the view. So for the view, which of the routes are we going to use? Let me show us. This is the route that we're going to use for the view. So let me pass it here. I'm coming. Route contact dot contact dot show, and this route requires something. It requires me to pass what's called a value there as a variable. That's why you can see slash this contact. So and the variable I'm to pass there, it will definitely be contact. It will definitely be this contact. Let me show us to be contact. So this is how it will definitely look like. So now I'm coming. So contact dot show should be inside the show function. So let me go to the show function. So let me remove this. This will be contact. So what I want to do here is that I want to show a single request. That is, let me go back here. That is when somebody click on view for record, it will only show, it will go to a page that it will only talk about this person. You understand? So that's just what I want to do. So I said it should return view contact.show. So it means that there should be a file called show.plate.php inside this contact folder. So let's go to that contact folder first. inside contact folder, we need to create a file called show.lead.php. I'm coming. So let me copy the file out. I don't want to waste time. So let me just paste it here. So let me go back again and explain myself. Where is our index? On this our index, this is the route name, contact.show. And because look at the route, how it looks like contact slash this curly bracket, anything inside the curly bracket is a variable. So it means that we are expected to pass a variable here so that it will be contact slash the variable for us to get to this show function. And look at the show function. By default, is expected to what? To go through my contact group controller at show function. So now this is my contact group controller and this is the show function. So let's see. And what I now did here is that what I injected contact model there directly. So, and this is just a variable. I can decide to name this one any name because I just want to maintain the name we've been working with, which is contacts. So so I said, okay, it should return this view of what contact.show and it should pass this contact as a variable there. So let's go to the file contact.show. So this is the file called contact.show. And what I'm doing is that what I already have, you know, where we are getting the contact from. So the contact has name attributes, it has email, it has message, it also has address. So let me put the address also there. Let me duplicate it. Address. So let's see. Let's try to run this. I'm coming. There's an error somewhere. So contacts.index not defined here. Let me see. Contacts.index is not contact, it's contacts.index. So that's the error. So let's run it again. Now look at it. Look at the route. Contact/1. Let me go back. Look at this view. See what is passed here. Contact/1. Let's look at it here. Where is the index here? I passed it at contact.show slash the contact. So it's automatically by default because the ID column is the default column by default, unless if you change it in the model. So that's why it's picking the ID as the primary, because and also by default ID column is the primary key field. So that's why it's using the ID column. That's why it's not using maybe the name column or the email column. So it's using the ID column by default. You can decide to change it. You understand? And to change it is very simple. You just come to your contact here. You understand? You can say primary key. You understand? You can change your primary key, but I'm not changing it. So that's why it's using the primary key by default, which is 1. Okay, so let's go back. So if you look at the second one, it should be 2. Look at it. So now let's click on the second one. Let's see what will happen. It's still the same thing. So now contact/2. And then it's now showing the name, the address, all the records that all everything that have been put here. So now let's click on back to contact. Let me go to the one that I created in this meeting. So which is this? You can see here is my name, the address, message. You understand? And you can decide to go back again to the landing page for the contact. Let me hear from us first if we understand what we have been doing so far, or if we have any questions for now. Tosin, Faith, do you have any question for now? Does this make sense?
Yes, making sense. That's not what you're done.
Okay. Faith, how about you? Faith. Hello, Faith, are you there? Okay, let's continue then. Okay, so for the edit, let's come here. So it's still the same thing, but the route will be different a little bit. So it will be contact dot, sorry, hold on. It will be contact dot contact dot, let's look at what that will be. It's contact dot edit. Contact dot edit. I will still pass in the contact. You understand? So contact dot edit, if we go to the edit function. So let's do the edit function. So this is it. So I will just inject my contact method here, I mean model there, and I will say to return view contact dot edit and pass the contact. So now I do not have edit dot read here. I'm coming. So let me create it. Edit dot read dot php. Let me copy this, whether not to waste time. So edit dot read. Uh, this one will be address. This one will be address, 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 address. I will explain this just to address. So now on the edit page, this is contact. So on the edit page, look at, we have this value tag, value attributes. And what this means, let me explain to us. What it means is that, let's say you are filling the form and you will load, you click your arrow. Let me show you the arrow. Maybe let me come here first. Let's say you are filling this form and you click on create button. It's just an example. You click on this button and maybe there's a validation error and it bounces you back to this button. Because once there's a validation error, it will bounce you back to the previous page that you are coming from. Instead of you losing the previous data that you inputted into this form, it won't be lost, it will be kept. You understand? So that's the meaning of this code. So this code and the name of the name attributes, which is the name, that's what you are having. Or this command means, or if you can't find this, what should be at work? Or you know, this is an edit page, and because on the edit controller we are passing this contact, we are injecting this contact, which is keeping the state, the value or the state of or the current role, the current contact that we are trying to edit or update. So what it will do is that what, so the value of the current contact attribute, you put it there by default. So let's load this page and see how it looks like. Just hold on to see what I'm saying. Well, let's go back. Let's click on this. Oh, let me reload. Now you can see that loading on that page by default, it's putting what's called the values of or what's called the attributes that are in the database for that record. It's set them into those boxes by default. And how did that happen? All thanks to this. This is what is making it to happen. You understand? This. I'm setting the value of the box to or the record that you want to update by default. What you've already saved. If I do not put this, let me remove it for this. For this is address ID. Let's see how it will look like. Let me go back. So let me edit it. You can see nothing here. You understand? It's empty. So that's what is making the magic to work. So now let's say my name is no longer Kola. Let's say my name is now what? Shadi. Let's say my name is now Shadi, and my email is now what's it called? Tosin at gmail.com. You understand? So if I click on this update contact, what should happen? I want it to save my record. And to do that, I'm passing it to this route, contact.update, and I'm passing the contact or value into it directly. So let's see the contact.update here. It should go to the update function. So let's go to the update function. So my request, let me still make use of this request that I use on the store. What's the request on the store? That's my contact book request. My contact book request. And this should be contacts. This should be contacts. Contacts. So what I will just do is that I will say, what's it called? There are different ways to do this anyway. I can say contacts. Let me first find uh contacts. Yeah, find contacts. Update this. Let me explain this code. So what I'm doing here is that this is the model. We already know this. So this find contacts. What it's doing is that I'm passing this model directly to it, but it won't use it. It will use the primary key, which is the ID. So it will find that ID out. If it can see that ID on our database, if we can see it, then it will update. You know, the other time we used create ID to create a new record, but now we want to update. We are using update. So what it will do here is that let's say the ID of this contact that we want to update is 2. So it will go on that contact table, look for ID 2. If it can find ID 2, so the record that you're already bringing that you have validated here, just update it. And after updating, what do I want to do? I want to redirect it to what? To the index page. That's all. You understand? So simple. Find the record, update it. You understand? So let's see how that works. This is Shadia again. Oh yeah, let's see. I'm coming. Bad collection. I'm coming. Collection update does not work. Okay. Let me use another method. Let's do this. Contacts, find let me just do this. Let me split it out here. Contacts ID. Let me write it like this. Find contacts. So if it can see the contacts, if find contacts, so if it can see the contacts, so I can say find contacts. Let me update them one by one. Find contacts, what's it called? Name. Find contact name is equals to the request that we are bringing in. Request name. Find contacts address is equals to request address. Find contacts, what's it called? What else again? Name, address, email is equal to request email. Find contact, I think message is equal to request message. Find contact save. So let's use this method. Come in. Let's go back. Okay, so let's save it. So you can see which one do you update save? This is it, the shading one. So you can see that the email has changed to Tosin, blah blah blah. Can you see? Let me update for this. Let me update for this. So Segun new update. So let's just say faith at gmail.com. Let's say that. So let's say another message. I see. Segun new updates. The email has changed to faith. Gather another message. I don't know if we understand this or you need me to explain myself again. Please let's stop. Hello?
May I understand? May I understand what you're doing?
Okay. Please go down. I'm coming. Faith, Abib,
Yes, sir.
any question? Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. But I have a question before this.
Yeah, ask your question, please.
Okay, the question I want to ask is that after making after creating our input button for creating contacts,
Okay.
you made mention that we can route like taking it to a particular page on that same line, like method post. There's a line of stuff before that
Yeah, right.
that no, not this one. On
Where?
the HTML page.
Okay, I'm coming. The create page, right?
Yeah.
So this is the create page. Yeah.
Yes, that it should route to this particular place.
Mm-hmm.
Then, like after clicking on the create button. But
Yeah.
along the line, you did something that if you want to do it, there's another way we can do it, like writing the code too as well.
So redirect to another route, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me explain the difference. This page that you are on is an HTML page. Hope you understand. So when you are filling a form, definitely the essence of you calling it a form is because you want to submit it. So one of the attributes of forms in HTML is submission. If there's no submission, there's no form. If you are paid attention very well to all every website you are making use of and they are asking you to put in something like maybe your name, your data, there will always be a button, a call to action button to save that data. So those kind of things are form. They embed all those tags, all those input tags inside the form. Is because of the form that makes it easy for you to click on that button and it save your record somewhere. That's an HTML page. Now, that's why we're having every of these tags. Let me show it again. That's why we're having every of these tags. Let me collapse them. That's why we're having every of these tags inside the form. You can see. And everything here that you put in here, once you click this create button, it will definitely submit to this route. This is HTML. Don't mix them together. It will definitely submit to this route. That's why I'm putting in a method, a tag called action. That action means that was once you click on this button, it should take this action. This is the next action. And the method is what post, because there can also be get method, but I'm using post. So now, and I've already explained this to us that this store will be come to this one based on my logic. So now on the store, this is the store. Now this is PHP. Everything on this page is PHP. You understand? Not HTML again. So now this is how I redirect in Laravel. There are two different things. I'm switching from HTML to PHP. This is how I redirect in Laravel. So this is, you can see redirect is just pure English. So and I'm redirecting to this route. You understand? I'm redirecting to this route with this success rate. I really did not show us this because I don't want to start messing around with HTML. Oh yeah,
Okay,
I
okay,
hope
okay. Okay, so even if we do not put that routing to that contact place, if we do this one that is showing now, it's still going to go.
on the HTML page. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying? If we put this one, is that what
yes.
you're asking? No, it won't work. But
Oh,
that's an HTML page. Is it that you do it? I'm coming. Is it that you do it like this, or you expressly state it out like this? That okay, go to this HTTP. What's my address? Localhost 8000 slash slash. Should be store abi? Abi,
Yes.
contact does
Yes.
CRUD. So this is the route. Contact. You can do it like this, but this is not an ideal way of doing it. I will tell you the reason. The reason is because this will work when I'm developing locally. But let's say I want to deploy my code. What it means is that because if I want to deploy my code, this base URL will change. So let's say if we change to another domain name, right? So it means that if I want to deploy my code, I will now start coming to my files one by one and manually change this. It doesn't make sense. Is not effective. You understand? So instead of making use of this method, just use this named route. Irrespective of the domain that you have, it will automatically fit in as long as you are using a named route. So that's why I will always encourage you to use a named route. Don't expressly write out the route because you can change domain anytime and you don't want to start coming on your code base and start editing all those ones. You don't have that time. Does that make sense? Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. No, I'm still trying to get the work of that on the Laravel itself. It doesn't mean that the validated can also be done on the Laravel like this too.
The
That's what
what?
I'm trying to get. This one, yeah, yes.
This one that I highlighted.
Okay, another type,
I'm asking, is it this one that I highlighted that you are talking
Yes,
about?
yes, yes, yes.
What's the issue with this one? Let me know first. Eh?
I mean, I don't know how I'm going to ask the question. Please just go on.
No, no. Ask it anyhow. I
Okay,
will.
okay. I'm asking that this is another way of validating our form requests from here using Laravel.
Yes, yes. Look at this
Okay.
request. I wrote a custom request class. I called it my contact book request. So you can click on this. So you can see this is my request. You understand? These are my rules. You understand? Some people they do not like this method, but me I like it because it is clean. Some people what they will just do, they will make use of the default Laravel request class, which is this request. They will now do it like this here. Request, validate. They will do it like this. Let me just copy everything out here. They will do it like this. Let me copy this out and paste it here. It still works. Uh, it still works. You understand?
Okay, I
But
understand now.
I don't like this method. I
Okay.
always like to separate concerns, you understand? So I don't like doing validation, everything together on the same page. Since Laravel
Okay.
already has those provisions, so it means that I can make my code more readable and easy to understand. So that's
Okay.
why I always make use of this. You understand? Instead of using this request validator, some people they like writing it out one by one, just like I did for this updated at this updated. You understand? Right? I really do not like that method. It works, so it's not like it will not work. It works, but I love something. Excuse me. I love something short and readable.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
you're welcome. Another question? Faith. Let's ask question. Okay, no problem. Let's go on. Let me quickly work on the delete functionality. Let me quickly work on the delete functionality. So the action here will be route contact delete. No, contact dot destroy. And you can see that this one also still accept that contact. So now pay attention here. You can see that for deletion, it has a form on its own, and the method is post. But inside it, you now pass another method called delete. So this is how we handle delete method when we are running it inside the form in HTML. The method you put for that form will be post, but you now pass at method of delete here, just like you are passing the C SRF here. So now look at the destroy. There's a destroy function here. Let's go to the destroy function. I'm passing my contacts. 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 So I'm saying contacts delete. I want to delete. I want to return redirect. You understand? So this is it. I'm saying you should delete that record. Then I'm redirecting back. Let me go back to the index. So once you click on that delete button, this is a JavaScript. On click of the button, it will first bring like a modal to ask you that are you sure? You understand? Because delete is something that you must not take it like you must not just click the button out of, let's say you are feeling dizzy. You understand? Just to be sure that the user is not feeling dizzy. You understand? Because once you delete your record, we are not giving it to you back. So let's see what will happen. Now, let me click onto this. Can you see? Are you sure? So let me say yes. You can see that it has deleted the record. That record number one no longer exists. Let me delete it again. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? So let me delete more. Can you see? We only have 2 records. Hope that makes sense. Does it make sense? Hello?
Yes, sir, it makes sense.
Okay. So this is it. This is just basic anyway, but at least this code that we've done introduced us to some little things like how we can save record into our database, how we can edit the record, how we can update the record, how we can delete the record. Those are small functionalities which most of the websites makes use of. You understand? Most of the website they make use of these functionalities of you save your data, you bring them out back, you modify them, you save the updated version, you delete the record. So we've done this, at least for now. So another thing I would like to introduce to us, let me go back to this route. Look at this route now. Another thing I would like to introduce to us is what we call middleware. Middleware. There's something called middleware in programming, not only in Laravel, in programming in general. Middleware. And what are middlewares? I will explain. Middlewares are like intermediaries between your request and your response. They are intermediaries between your request and your response. Requests are what users gives to you. Response are your own outputs to users. You understand? Hope that explanation makes sense. So they are intermediaries between your request and your response. Let me give you a practical example. Let's say you are a gatesman. You understand? You are a gatesman. So you are a middleware like that. So people coming from outside that want to enter into the building, we definitely need to pass through you. And you are the one to now decide that. So you are the one to decide if you will allow them pass or not, based on maybe criteria that are given to you. Let's say the bank manager says that okay, and people below the age of 18 are not below the age of 18 are not allowed into this compound. You understand? Then let's say people are now coming from outside, they want to enter the gate. Then you start asking them, what's your age? This one says, I'm 15. You send that one back that you are not yet at you've not yet reached the required age. Another person comes, you ask, how old are you? The person said 50. You allow the person in. So you are the middleware. So think of it like that. So middleware are just like the name middleman. You understand? It's the middleman between your request and your response. So middleware acts based on rules that are being set by the programmer. Maybe you say that okay, for this type of routes, the only people that are allowed to access this type of routes are people that are authenticated. That is, people that have already logged in. If you have not logged in into your accounts, you do not have access to this type of routes. Examples I will give to us. Let's say we all make use of Facebook, all those social media networks. You understand? You can't access your Facebook post, your Facebook feeds if you are not logged in. Hope I'm correct. You can't. If you are not logged in and you try accessing those type of areas, that's even if you know That's even if you know the routes. Let's say you know the route and you just put it on your system browser to get you there. It will first of all redirect you back to your login page, asking you to log in before it now takes you to that feed that you want to get to. If you do not log in, you won't get there. I hope we've experienced such before. Have we experienced such before? Faith, Tosin. Aha. So what is doing that job is the middleware. Is checking every request that is coming into the website one by one. If you like send 1 million requests, it's checking every request coming into the website one by one and making sure that what they comply with the rules being set. If they do not comply, it bounces you off. So that's it. So let me show you how to write middleware in Laravel. You understand? Let me show us how to write middleware in Laravel. There's a command for it. There's a command for writing middleware in Laravel. We call it PHP artisan make middleware. So you put in the name of the middleware. Let's write a middleware for, in Nigeria, we say 18 years. Once you are 18 years and above, you're an adult, right? And we say if you are 18 years and above, you are allowed to vote. So let's write a middleware that checks for age. You understand? So let's call the name of the middleware check age. You understand? Let's first check age middleware. Let's just put it this way. Check age middleware. So you can see it has created the file inside app http middleware. So let's look for the file app http middleware check age middleware. So this is the file. By default, it has a function called undo. You understand? And what does the undo takes in? It takes in a request and a closure. You understand? So now let's write our own function here inside this middleware. Let's say if request age, I will extend this code and request age less than 18 and request age less than 18, it should return it should it should return what's good. Let's just return not allowed. No, it should be a JSON. Sorry. Return response. The response is expected to be a JSON. So let me just say message not allowed to perform this operation. You understand? But if this condition does not catch the person, then it should pass. You understand? So you leave this one like this, it should pass. So let me explain again. So this request, definitely they've already injected the request middle class into this function for us. So any request that you are sending, it will check if that request has something called age. You understand? If it has a parameter called age and the age is less than 18, it will return this response for you. So it won't take you further. But if it has request called age and the request is less than 18, then it will allow you to pass. You understand me? So how do we now we've already worked on this middleware now. So how do we now apply the middleware? That's where the question. That's the next question. How do we apply the middleware? It's very simple. To apply the middleware, we'll do that inside let's check this kernel. So that that kernel.php is inside HTTP folder. So there's a kernel.php. Inside that kernel.php, we'll see all middlewares, right, that came with Laravel by default. And let me explain them to us so that we know the appropriate place that we need to write our own middleware, that we need to put the middleware. Now, the first one here, all the middlewares here, they are applied to all the routes in our Laravel application. They apply to all the routes in our Laravel application. Now, these ones, you can see that it's being partitioned into two groups, the web and the API. So there's an API section to Laravel, and also there's a web section to it. So this middleware applies to the web section, while this one applies to the API section. The API section will be found here. Let me show us, because we've not talked about that, but let me show us inside routes API. So any routes you put in here, you put in inside this API.php, and you call the what's called, you call, where is it again? Where is the kernel.php? I'm coming. And you call the API, what's called the API middleware. This will work for them. So now this middleware alias. So this one comes with Laravel by default. These are alias. There's a function, there's a middleware called authenticate. So Laravel sets the alias to be auth. There's another middleware called authenticate with basic auth, so how to access the middleware. But don't worry about that for now. Let me repeat this one again. These are called middleware groups. And these are the names of the middleware API. So if you use a middleware API, so what you have access to are the throttle request, sorry. The throttle request and the substitute bindings. You understand why for the web what's called middleware groups, all these are there by default. So let me show us where to add that. What's the name of that middleware that we just finished writing? Check each middleware. We can write it. Let's write it here first. We'll still change it anyway, but let's write it here first. So now, can you see? So we've imported it here. So so importing it here means that what the middleware we apply to all the routes in our Laravel application. Look at it. They've put a comment here to explain to explain everything here first. So the comment here says that the application's global HTTP middleware stack. This middleware are run doing every request to your application. That is all the middleware here inside this array. They are run in every of your request to your Laravel application. You understand? Each of the endpoints that you're calling in your Laravel application, this middleware will run. It means that while we are running all those endpoints to create contacts, to update, to delete contacts, these middlewares are running in the background. You understand? So now let's go back to our application. Let's see what will happen now. Let's go back to our application. Let's try to create contacts. I'm coming. Hold on. So, okay. So, please hold on. Okay, so let's go to our routes. Where is our routes? So. Let me attach it here. So what's the name? I didn't give it a name, so let me go and give it a name. Let me go back. So this middleware, check age middleware. Let me also put it here. So let me just put it as age. So let me point it here. Check age middleware class. So now I've given it a name of age. You understand? So let me go here and put age here. So let's see what will happen. Let's run it now. Okay. I'm coming. Okay. Let me start. Let me restart. Coming. Okay. Age. So coming. Please hold on. Coming. Let me do something first. What middleware is. Let me do this. I'll explain my code. Just hold on. I'm confused. Guys, okay, it has changed the port. It has changed the port to okay. I want to debug this thing. I don't know why it's not picking it up. I mean the middleware. So please hold on. Let me just do a let me do a debugging here. Okay. So that's fine. So if request age and so does it have age? So why is it not returning not allowed? Please hold on. No, it can't be allowed. So if request age and age, so let me check if it's as age. I want to see where that one is coming from. So let me write it like this. If it's not null request age, if it's not null request age, so let me bring this here. So let's delete this. So let's see what will happen here. If it's not null request age and request age less than 18. Come in. These are done. It is not now request age and request age less than 18. I put this on here. It shouldn't get to this. That's what I'm trying to see what's happening. Not allowed. Okay. Let's leave it here for now. It was the behavior that I want. Okay. Let me go back to that. I will start all over again. Test me properly. Where's the panel? Let me connect this one now. Okay. Okay, that's good. I'm coming. I'll explain. No, just hold on. I'm trying to clean up my trial and error. Okay. Before this, let's go back to what we have before. This is what we have before, right? So let me just attach to this route alone. Okay, that's good. So now this route, I'm attaching the middleware. I'm attaching the middleware called age. That's the name I named my middleware age, and I've showed us where you can name your middleware. So to name your middleware, just come to this middleware alias. You understand? Put the name of your middleware here and give it the name you want. You understand? So, and also I've put my middleware inside this global middleware class. You understand? So, which means that every request coming and going, you understand, will definitely pass through that middleware. So, what I do, so inside my middleware function now, so I said if request age is less than 18, but I don't have any request even called that is called, what is it called? That is called age. You understand? So definitely it will keep on showing me this error, which on each of the page that I'm trying to open. That's why you are seeing not allowed to perform this operation. But don't let us do it this way. Let's try to make it look more okay by, what's it called? Let me do more that makes more sense. Let's say if request what's called if request what's called name, let's just say name, because we have name objects. If is empty, let's just put this way, if is empty. So let me go to my this page. Let me create a route. We already have that route, but I want to override the default route. So let me go to my route list, contact, create. So this route, contact create, let me create it here. So is a no the post one, which is this. Let me just put it here. Route post contacts. Yeah. So route post contacts is going to store. So this is the name. It's still fine. Let me now attach the middleware here. Let me see. The middleware name is age. So let me remove the middleware here. You understand? So this is what I'm doing here. Let me explain so you understand. By default, this resource route also has this route that I'm putting up here. It has it because I want to override that route for the create on this resource. For me to override it, the route that I want to use to override it, I must write it before the resource route, because the way Laravel reads its file, it reads its file from top to bottom. You understand? If I put this one below this, below this resource, what it will do is that it will read the resource one, it will make use of the resource one, you understand, which I don't want. So that's why I'm putting it above it. So let's load our page. This one should load now. Okay. Or has it changed? Let me see if it has changed ports again. Let's see. Why is it taking time? Let me restart. 801. 801. Still telling me this. Okay. I'm coming. Check age. Please do that. Post. Oh, I'm coming. Let me go to my panel. I don't need it on every route. So let me remove it here. Because I do not need it on every route again. So let's see. So can you see it's not working on this route again? So I said you should only work on this tweet when I want to submit the form. So let's put test middleware test address hello as test.ng hello message. So let's see what will happen. So it worked actually. Hold on. Before I say actually, let's be sure. So what was it called? It didn't work because it should pass through this function first and it's not showing anything. Just hold on. Let's see why it did not work. I'm coming. Into where is this? So what is our route? Hold on. So this is our route. So oh, can you imagine? And nobody saw that to correct me. This is contact.store. It's contact.store. So let's reload. Let's try again. Hello, meet test, meet at test.ng. Hello, let's see. No, please hold on. Yeah, I'm with you.
Sorry, Shegun, I quickly want to add. I remember when we were doing the middleware. I feel we added age we added age to it as a factor.
We added what?
Age. Once age is less than 18 or so.
I've removed the age. I've changed the logic. You understand?
Okay.
I'm
I guess
checking for it now. You said what?
okay. Okay, I guess I missed when you're talking about that part.
Yeah. Let me change. I'm coming. So to create, let me change the create to this now. Let me separate concerns first. Where is create? I'm coming. Not create. Let me just see. Store of store form. Let me call it this. So okay. Let me remove. There's an error in there. So what's the issue? Contact the store form not defined. Let's see. Okay, I think I know what's happening. Let me rectify this. Let me just put this here. Let me put this here. So the middleware is H. So let's run this. Done. Let me change the route. I don't have to waste time. Contact.stop form stuff. Let me just change it off. I don't want to waste our time here. So let's click on this. Okay, it's working now. So access.ng testing. Let's something is wrong. I'm trying to make it force it to use this middleware. I'm coming. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, my own suggestion is it that we are not going to create like an input for age so that the stuff will check for it.
No, that name is just this is just a name actually. You
Okay.
understand? The logic here is that what I even want to show, I want to get everything being sent in the request or class first. You understand? So that's the logic there. I'm coming. So this is what is expected to be done. So once you click on this, so this is what I'm expecting because I'm doing this. So now let's check the name. I'm coming. Let's check the name. Hello, you understand? No, there's a name. There's a request for name here, right? So which is hello. So I now said from the logic, look at the logic. I said if the name is empty, that is, if there's nothing in the name, you should say not allowed to perform operations. So let's go back. Don't let me put anything here. Can you see? Not allowed to perform this operation, right? But let me just put in something that's good. Let's see. Good is also telling me not allowed to perform this operation. I'm coming. Let me see. So hold on. So request name. So good. Okay. So why is it not telling me that? I'm coming. Method one. Method two. I just want to debug to know what this is. That's the method two. So it should work. Hold on. Something is not adding up here. Let me go back. Method two. So it's passed through that middleware. So why is it not? I'm coming. Oh, hold on. Okay, let me create another one. The guest method is not supported for. I'm coming. So this is the index page. Clicking on the create contact. Let me look for it. Since I've changed the name, everything has started. I'm coming. Okay, this is not stuff. This is create. Okay. Let's not put something here. Let me remove this HTML because this name field is required is an HTML validation. So let me remove it. Where is that? That's great. So input tags. I'm coming. Input tag form control. I'm coming. Let me change this logic. Let me just say if name is not equals to Segun. Coming. Let me put a name there. Toby. Something is still wrong here. I'm coming. Sorry, I'm trying to clean up this mess here. Coming. Not allowed. Coming. Let me put that Segun. Method 2. I'm coming. Again. Not allowed. I think I've messed things up here. Just hold on. It's still finding that request. Uh, okay. Okay. I'm coming. Let me check this my controller first. After I saved it, I'm redirecting to. Don't let me redirect first. Don't let me redirect first. I don't have to see what is happening here. This is not the intention. I don't want it to apply to all routes. Okay. So redirecting to contact page. I've removed that one. Where is it? Oh, contact index. Let me delete all this record first because they are getting too much. Sorry, we'll soon finish. I just want to fix that error that I'm having, that issue that I'm having, so that we can call it a day. Okay. So, which I've done here. So, wonderful. Okay. This person is disturbing me today. Okay. All what I just want to do is to just attach it to a single route and let it be. I'm coming. I don't want this. Let me use it here first. You know what? Please, let me just get back to us regarding this middleware placing by next week, so that I won't take much of our time. This is already taking much of our time, and there are still some little things I need to talk about the middleware. Does that make sense?
Okay, so no,
Okay, no problem. No problem. Apologies for that. It's taking more than what I bargained for, and in order to keep us on the call for too long. Yeah, so it will make sense that either I get back to us myself or what's it called, Adibayo, because he's the one to take next class, or Adibayo just brush it up for us, you understand? So I will also talk to him, you understand, so that he can help us uh brush up the middle way. Hope that makes sense. So this code base already we already have the GitHub repo. I will push it after this meeting. I'll push it there so that we can check it up. And if I have time, I'm not promising, but if I have time this week, I might write something up about, especially about that middleware. You understand? I'll provide examples there so that we can also look into it. Yeah. So, but apart from the middleware, the other ones that we've done, I don't know if we have questions, because definitely we are not yet clear with the middleware because we've not even successfully or shown an example. So I don't know if we have questions regarding other things that we've done or those ones we understand well. Then Any question? Okay. In the absence of no question, I think that will be the end of today's class. And let's watch out on the group this week. I think we'll be giving out projects to each of us to work on. So we'll list out some projects for us and we'll pick the ones that we are comfortable with. And the projects are they just revolved around what we've done. You understand? Or what we've done. So we'll apply them. You understand? To make a project. So thank you so much. Let's have a lovely week ahead. Bye bye everyone.
Thank you so much, Shegun. And thank you everyone for joining. I think next week class would be week 8, right, Shegun, if I'm correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and not sure. I think Imole mentioned about projects. Has
Yeah.
anyone in their project now, and are they currently working on it? When is the deadline for submission, or what's the order of submission like?
I still want to share the previous topics with I think I just did that this afternoon anyway. So I'll still follow up with him so that once we conclude them we can share it on the group and they can pick the ones they like. I mean the students.
Yeah, and how many weeks do you think that project would last for, or how many days, based on your?
Well the truth is that I've not thought about it, but we'll definitely give them timeline this week.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you would get timeline on your project this week, and then we will share the orders of this thing with you. Maybe that might run after the whole session. Not sure, but
Yeah.
I will let you know. Yeah. Okay. So thank you all for joining, and have a wonderful week ahead. Bye. Thanks, Chegun, once again.
Yeah.
Cheers. Yeah. Bye, everyone.